My greedy sister revealed her true colors after our father passed away. I couldn't recognize her.
What color does she turn into? Is she purple?
She's green. My sister, 38 female, and I, 39 female, have never really gotten along. We tolerate each other, but I do love her dearly. She's my sister after all. I would do anything for her no matter what. I always have let her know I'm here. We're like night and day though, and that's okay. By the way, this comes from Minimum Influence 313, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKstorytime subreddit. So, my dad unexpectedly passed away in 2021. It was tough for everyone. My grandmother, his mom, passed 5 days before him, so needless to say, it was a tough time for everyone. Unfortunately, because of this, I've seen so many people's true colors pop out when it involved money and belongings. It's broke my heart and has caused me to distance myself from my sister especially. My sister has always been the type to pop up, for instance, when our other grandma, our mom's mom, passed away about 16 years ago to help go through her things or see what anyone would like to have. This is absolutely fine. I never went though because I was always working and told my mom I wasn't interested in material things. I just asked her to let me have whatever they thought I should out of her belongings. Let's just say that over the years, from family members who have passed away, every corner of my sister's house has something she's gotten from them. I don't visit her often because of this, and if she gets anything, I don't find out until I see it at her house, and that's okay, it's her business. I should speak up or take what I want to, but I've never cared for material things, to be honest. If something is sentimental, I care, but I just don't value things like she does. Still, I feel like it should be a mutual agreement on who would like what, and there should be a fair chance to split things evenly. With her, there isn't. However, I do make it a point that if I come across something or if I'm asked, I ask my sister if she'd like it before I take it. I don't really get the same treatment. It's not a big deal. I have bigger things to worry about. It is what it is. When my dad passed, he had a little indoor puppy that he loved so much. My sister told everyone, I think I should get the dog because I basically named him. 6 months later, she gave him away to her uncle who had just gotten out of jail, claiming the puppy was too wild and too much work. Recently, she got a new puppy again. Oh my God. At my dad's funeral, my mom reminded me while my sister was standing right there to make sure as the oldest to tell the funeral director that I'd like the flag they give during the service. A few minutes later, I saw my sister walk up front with the funeral director looking over a piece of paper and talking. Since I had just gotten over the vid, I hadn't been able to meet him before the funeral, so he only knew about me from what my mom mentioned. He was older, so maybe he forgot. I told myself, I need to speak to him about the flag. I walked up and waited for them to finish talking. As I stood there, I saw her about to sign a piece of paper. Then the funeral director said to her, the flag will go to you, and she began to sign. I said my sister's name and asked, wait, is this about the flag? I thought I was going to get the flag since I'm the oldest. She put the pen down without saying a word. The funeral director looked at me and asked her, I didn't even know you had a sister. Is this your sister? I said, yes, sir. I'm the oldest. Is this paper about the flag and who gets it at the service? He replied, yes, ma'am. Here you go. I'm sorry about that. I told him, it's no problem at all, and signed the paper. You trickster. Your sister's a little trickster. Yeah, I'm glad you caught her. My sister walked away without saying a word. Later, I asked her why she did that and why she didn't tell him about me. She said she just wasn't thinking clearly and didn't remember what mom had said about the flag, not even 10 minutes before. We had also talked about it a few days earlier. I can understand forgetting, but I was hurt and upset that she almost let this happen and didn't think about me at all. Still, I let it go and moved on. I always tried to give the benefit of the doubt. Another example, our dad had life insurance, and I did all the emailing and phone calls to make sure they had everything they needed. After having to sternly tell my sister that I would handle the life insurance policy information, she still tried her best to take over and do it all by herself, like she didn't trust me with it. I told her she could help me and that we could do it together. We ended up filing out the paperwork together at my house. It wasn't a one-person thing anyway. She had her own papers to fill out and I had mine. But she still wanted to take everything to her house without my help. I refused to let her. Of course, there's always a wait for life insurance payouts. About a month and a few weeks later, I was patiently waiting to hear something. One day, I went to my mailbox and found a check. I called my sister to tell her the news, and guess what her reaction was? Oh, I know. I got my check 2 days ago. Giggles. I said, what? You did? And you didn't even want to tell me, knowing I had been wondering and worrying about when we'd hear something because of funeral expenses and everything? She paused and said, well, I just wanted you to be surprised when you got yours.
Why? Why are you laughing, Riley?
What kind of face was that?
It was a face of shock.
Yeah, it's my reaction.
It's her genuine reaction.
One hand, you don't like it when I zone out. On the other hand, when I zone in, then you're not liking what I do.
You're a hypocrite. That's when I realized I needed to distance myself because I couldn't trust her to be there for me the way I was for her. It completely changed the respect I had for her. I was hurt and disappointed in how she handled so many things. It might not sound like a lot, but at a time like that, it was more than I needed to deal with. I started wondering if I was crazy. There was no way she'd act like this with me, especially right now. But at the same time, it wasn't surprising. She had always done things like this before, but after Dad passed, I really began to notice. When it was time for us to truly be there for each other, it felt like every time I turned around, there was some hidden agenda, something being kept from me, or just off-the-wall behavior I couldn't understand. It hurt more than usual now for some reason. My dad and mom divorced about a year before he passed. The house they had had together for 35 years was going to be hers if anything ever happened to him. They got along fine after the divorce, and she remarried. My mom decided to sell the house even though it broke her heart to do so. She felt it was for the best because of the bad memories and how everything happened. When my sister found out, she questioned my mom about what our part would be if she sold it. I never expected anything from the sale. I never even thought about it. We had already received life insurance money. My mom didn't. We were the beneficiaries. She got the home and wanted to put some money away for retirement. But my sister expected her part by law, regardless of what my mom wanted. And that's exactly what she got. I declined over and over to accept any amount and told my mom to keep my share for herself. Of course, she didn't allow that and gave me my part too, saying it was only fair since my sister got hers. It felt wrong. I was very upset that my sister pushed my mom to give to her. She had no remorse. She didn't care as long as she got what she wanted. My sister even got involved with a realtor my mom picked, like romantically, calling him multiple times to ask about her share of the sale. Okay, not romantically. How much it was being sold for and all the financial details only my mom had to deal with. The realtor hadn't even met her before these calls and had only heard of her through my mom. When we eventually met him to sign papers, he mentioned that she had called him multiple times about money questions and that he felt uncomfortable not telling my mom. My sister never once mentioned to my mom that she had done this. Once she finally got her money from the house, she was happy. She acted like nothing had happened and went back to talking to my mom as if all was well. Then she had the nerve to ask my mom how much she got from the sale and was shocked that my mom got more than her. It blew my mind. My mom was hurt and disappointed too, but she didn't hold it against my sister or confront her. My mom doesn't fight over money with family. She always says if we have it, we should give it if we can. She wanted to make sure her 2 daughters were okay financially, and I understood that. But we got the life insurance money. We did not need this too. My mom worked for that home, raising us in it for 30 years, and my sister had her hand out expecting something from it. The entitlement blew my mind. We were never raised that way. But I hope that you guys were raised to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app and search up OKstorytime.
Just do it.
Angie, what are your thoughts about this story?
My thoughts are, that's crazy. I don't know, these things are just hard. I've never personally had to deal with like a will or anything like that from the people in my family and in my life that I've seen. It always like things get messy and people get selfish with the things that they want. And it's like, okay, we gotta think about everyone here. We can't just have everything. Because honestly, if she wanted to like take all the stuff back to her house, obviously she was gonna like take, everything that she wanted. So good thing they didn't let her. I bet that even if she did take everything that she wanted, she wouldn't even like appreciate it or keep it.
Yeah.
She would just get her grubby little hands on it.
That's crazy. Am I the a-hole for distancing myself from my sister after all this? It hurts it's my sister. And yes, actually, I have sat down with my sister and told her all of this bothers me. As I expected, there was an excuse for everything I said to her. She didn't mean it that way, or no, it didn't happen that way, or she just wasn't thinking and didn't realize she did that. It's never taking responsibility, or maybe realizing, hey, maybe you're right. I'm sorry for hurting you. That will never happen. I know for a fact I'm just hurt at how this all happened. It breaks my heart that people put material things and money before family, and the entitlement these days blows my freaking mind. And it blows my mind, man.
Maybe just some distance for a little bit will help, and then she can come back, and then maybe she'll calm down.
You sign her up for Survivor. She's like, what? But you sign her up, and she gets on, and she's like, I didn't sign up for Survivor. And you're like, yeah, of course you did. You did. But then you tell her, you're like, oh, you have a chance to win big. And so she goes on this like literally like 45 day. She's half starving. She's doing like crazy challenges. She comes back just entirely sunburned, but she's had like a huge change of heart. And she's like, on that trip, when I was having to manipulate people and get manipulated back, I realized that I was the problem the whole time.
Wow. Does that happen on Survivor? People realize that they're a bad person?
But I feel like she would.